Boy, Gates. I'm we're gonna watch some reactions just for the morning. I don't really have plans. I'm not feeling like PI for hire for a while. So we're just gonna watch this. It's too long for me to finish it, but if
I
it's
don't think
interesting
people really know me
enough,
for political takes. I think that most people just know me for like online slop, but maybe
then
I don't like Papa Gut
we'll
so
watch
far.
it.
I
don't care.
say so far because it'd be pretty hypocritical, seeing as what I'm about to say. But I've only seen 3 of his videos, and from these videos I've seen, I dislike the guy. But I'm not bringing him up just to single him out. The reason I mention Papa Gut at all is because of the way that he forms his opinions and comments on a topic is by looking up a controversy on YouTube and then watching the first video that pops up. He posted a video about Leaping Lemur. It's important to note that Papa Gut makes reaction videos, so he reacted to one made on Lemur by a YouTuber called Major Chilla. I have an entire Leaping Lemur video on my own channel if you want to watch that.
Oh yeah, it was like a huge nothing burger, like forced sexual assault thing. Like they're trying to make it seem like there's some kind of sexual assault going on when there wasn't. Oh my god, dude! Like what is so funny is like, oh, this guy's a leftist, but then like he watched this video about somebody making like some kind of a false allegation about somebody, and then he was like, "This is a false allegation." That would be a more conservative talking point. I just find that like ironic, right? Okay, got it. We don't like me from the Leaping Lemur shit. What else do we have here? Anything of use?
Because of this,
we're just going on about this fucking chinchilla bullshit. It was, yeah, it's all chronically online, like lol cow shit. Blah 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 blah. Got it. All right,
ridiculous.
Got it. Okay, this is like there's no actual anything in here that matters.
Onto Danky Jabo and
got it. Okay, I don't care. All right, let's move on from that. Let's go back to the actual video in question.
Was the only adult in that group chat.
Whoa, the 18.
This whole situation's kind of
multiple other members, and none of them were above
interesting,
18 besides
you could say.
Phipps. In there, I saw many concerning messages. In fact, I actually saw some that honestly make her look worse than before. And when you take into context her previous controversies, it looks really, really bad, but don't worry, I'll be explaining everything soon. I have some messages up on screen of Phibbs saying some very disturbing and concerning things regarding SH, also
self-harm,
known as self-harm.
Oh, that's not good.
In her Discord server, which, by the way, had minors in there, and she was at youngest 18.
Okay.
For those who can't read, she's basically talking.
No, we're not basically talking. We're going to read this. Why are you basically
talking about one?
Oh, she basically farts in her pants. No, we're going to read through them and see how fucking horrible these are. Pretty sure they apologized for this already. We already knew about this stuff.
I have some
I want someone to carve their name into me to prove that I'm theirs. Literally, will your BF not do that for you? No, he did. Proof this was real. Okay, good. Yeah, that's definitely inappropriate. It doesn't sound like they're telling other people to do it. It sounds like they want a partner that'll do that because they're a weird, edgy little online freak. I probably shouldn't say freak, but got it. Not appropriate.
I'm checking this.
I don't think that this is predatory. Fuck, this is real, I fear. I swear to God, I just want someone to tell me that they love me while they cut me. Okay, so somebody else is in the group chat saying some dumb, edgy emo shit. They're like, I want that too. They're romanticizing self-harm. That's definitely inappropriate. Okay, they're not a pedophile. This is inappropriate. I don't think that they're trying to predatorize people or trying to get young people to actually do that for them. It sounds like they want a partner to do that with because they're very terminally online.
Concerning things regarding SH, also known as self-harm, in her Discord.
Let's see what else we got here. Like, are you sad or not? Decide, ho. My head hurts so fucking bad. My tummy is a word. I hate being nauseous. I think they're trying to say imploding. Haha. They want to say they want to slit their wrist so bad. Real. It's not fair. It's okay. We got this win. We must resist. All right. Yeah. Inappropriate. They're glorifying this stuff. They think that they're funny and cool and edgy. Talking about self-harm. Definitely inappropriate. All right. What is this? What did we get out of here? This kind of freakish behavior. Yeah, I guess. Kinda. Yeah. This isn't really predatory behavior. It's inappropriate. They shouldn't be talking like this, even if they're trying to be cool and dark and edgy and mysterious. But okay.
She was at youngest 18.
All right, cool, man. Oh, Jesus, man. You didn't have to give me $100, brother. Thank you, Danky, though. I hope you enjoy. You didn't enjoy the conversation? Well, these lol cow networks are super, super educational. So I don't know why you wouldn't enjoy all of the accounts obsessively focused on lol cows with intellectual developmental disabilities and sensationalizing the terrible things that they do that are inappropriate and need adult supervision at most, which I think we got after the jitting conversation was solid. The jitting conversation with Phibbs, I think, was solid. It seems like Phibbs has kind of understood stuff and moved on.
Let me think.
So but thank you again. That's fucking crazy, brother. I think one of the things that we're going to see here, though, and I'm sure that you know this, Danky Jabo, is that this community is very isolated and insulated, and they don't get much pushback, and people don't actually talk to them. So you and Gideon talking to people in this community I think it's going to start to make them realize how fucking insane some of them are. Because that's what it is, man. They're so online. Most people stay out of this circle, but we've seen like so many people get like relentlessly harassed into doing worse and worse things and worse behavior. And it makes it so that like channels like this become part of the problem when they encourage the bad behavior. You know, it's like, oh yeah, somebody that's not like a Josh Block, great example. Young man with autism. People online like hit him so hard he started drinking. They were like, oh, this is so cool. He started throwing up and like eating it out of his drink and stuff. It's disgusting. And like now it's just sad. You have to kick streamers that are like attaching themselves to the hip with this guy just to exploit him for views. So it's fucking ridiculous. But let's continue with this video. Thank you again.
For those who can't read, she's basically talking about wanting to do something to her wrists and wanting someone to carve their name into it. It's really bad and disturbing.
Yeah, you have to say the whole context. Clearly, they're talking about how they want to find a person to do that because they have some cringe romanticizing of that behavior. Like, oh my god, I want to have like a toxic love. Like
they're all just cringe.
It's not
they're all cringe teenagers.
And the only reason I'm showing you again is to kind of bring context.
I think people are uncomfortable about the
self-harm
screenshot,
which I just took. Which,
if you can't listen, no offense, if you can't read the screenshots out loud, even if you censor the language, that's like immature to me. Like you have to, you can't, you've already inaccurately displayed it, and it's totally possible. It's totally possible that like you don't understand that because you're very young and you don't. I look at the behavior and I think most people my age are like, oh, I understand what's happening. You have like a young kid that's like edgy emo, like they think that they're being cool. If Fibs didn't have autism and said that, I still would be saying the same thing. I'd be like, oh, this is like inappropriate messages, but clearly they're like romanticizing toxic relationships. They shouldn't be saying in a Discord full of people because they might get the wrong idea. But you either you understand that and you decide not to display it, or you don't understand that and you're kind of just going off without like the understanding of any of these what's going on here.
When you take into account her previous statements are really, really bad, in my opinion. These two screenshots I'm going to show you first are in regards to the minor talking about SH. In the first one, they talk about,
oh, low-key blank myself in my Virgil hoodie because I need to feel that connection. We showed this one already, right? I think they're saying cut themselves. Again, not good.
Doing it in character, to which Fibs responds with ooh with a bunch of O's. In the second one, the minor's talking about rubbing a substance in.
I don't blame you, but I got addicted when I was like 10, and in 6th grade I did crazy shit with weed. How do we know how old this person is?
Yeah, that's my question.
Weed is different. It was like my first ever hardcore drug, and it's different when you rub it into your cuts at the ripe age of 12. So this person obviously isn't 12 now. They were,
and like this is fucking these people don't smoke weed enough. I guess Papa Weed's never done the weeds. Marijuana doesn't release THC by itself. You have to get it to a combustion level of temperature. So you rubbing weed into your wound is the most dumb, edgy thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Sorry. I gotta find this hardcore WoW pet trait guide. One days off of aspect of the cheetah can ruin it for me. Ruin it. So I go into Marksman and Beastmaster. Like level 15, it says go into this thick hide, and then revive pet, pathfinding, bestial swiftness, unleashed fury. They don't even have a. So we put it in thick hide, which gives him more armor. I don't even know where the fuck my guy went. I gotta put like call like right here. And I'm just gonna keep the boar. We're gonna see how the boar
Referring
works.
to when they were 12, they would rub a weed into their cuts.
Which wouldn't
Maybe
do anything.
I doubt it's true, but hopefully not true. But like, what is like? This is just like this is like sensationalizing and romanticizing weird toxic behavior. You know, like
into their SH marks, if you know what I mean. And
Yes.
again, Fibs responds with, ooh.
ooh.
By the way,
wow.
they were talking about doing this at the age of, I don't even know if I could say it, it's so young, but
Oh my god, 12. Oh, fuck 12. Am I right? That's the way I look at it. What are we talking about? You can say the word 12.
12. This mind was talking about
Holy fuck, dude.
doing that when they were 12, and you respond with, ooh. By the way,
Ooh.
they were talking about that at 3 a.m. Here's another.
Whoa! Oh my god, going to Arby's at 3 a.m. and licking Sonic's feet? What the fuck? What does that mean? By the way, this young person was up at 12. They were up at 3 in the morning when they were 12, and they were.
Imagine.
Or no, excuse me, when they were 12.
I was playing this
said
game
that they
at fucking
weed into their
14
cuts
till
and
like
don't
3
think
or
it's
5 in
true.
the morning.
And they were said it at 3 in the morning on Discord. Could you? This guy probably wakes up at fucking 5 in the afternoon and plays video games all day, and then goes to sleep at like 9 in the morning. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you talking about? What the fuck?
Screenshot from their DMs where Fibs, after the conversation ended, sends a bunch of unsolicited and quite frankly very weird selfies to
You're fine.
the minor.
How old is this minor? How old is this minor? How old is Fibs here? I don't understand. What does it mean? They're anime posting and a Teddy Fresh, by the way. Cancel Teddy Fresh. Am I right, guys? I'm surprised that they haven't gotten Ethan Klein for Fibs wearing a Teddy Fresh. I'm pretty sure this is a Teddy Fresh. I'm pretty sure that's the Teddy Fresh logo. It's time to get rid of him. Maybe it's the James Charles one. Then we know we have problems.
At 11.
You're fine. Here's some post. Is all good.
Green clip is not
This is both in
bad.
character and out of character. Yeah, just tired, long day. Okay, cringe posting. Got it. Love this anime one. That's fucking. This is cool for these people.
No way,
I think
I
that this
actually
is,
love
and this
that
is
guy.
fun. This is like just. I mean, I don't know if they're hitting on
Wow.
this person. To be honest with you, I think that it's supposed to be
A little
like cool
embarrassing.
anime poses. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know the age of either of them. Does Fibs fucking flap her labia? Like, what are we looking at here? I need more information.
PM.
Also, what comes before this? Why are we cutting that off?
Now I know there are a few parents who watch my videos, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question.
No parents watch your videos. Please stop. Please stop saying that. That's not true.
And if you don't have kids, just try and imagine a young person in your life, maybe a niece or nephew or sibling or whatever. Imagine if a grown adult
Yeah, I'm thinking about them. Fucking assholes.
woman, almost 20 years old, was
20, it's a 19-year-old, not a grown woman.
sending unsolicited selfies that look like this, by the way, to your kids or nephew or whoever's messages.
This
at
pet's
night.
gotta be.
I don't know how to answer this
Boosted.
question. I just don't care. This looks like a fucking cringe theater nerd. What? I don't know the context. You won't show us. Were they hitting on them? How old is the minor? You keep saying minor. I don't know how old this minor is. Are they 17? How old is the minor?
How would that make you feel? Or how about your kid talking about their very disturbing experiences with substances and SH with this adult who, by the way, they've known for 3 days at this point? And
Wow, incredible.
why is it that a concerning amount of these conversations are happening at night? Those selfies were sent at 11 p.m. and the SH and substance convo happened at 3 a.m.
Oh, fuck. Dude, if it was actually at 2 a.m., we'd be good. We would be good. To be honest, brother, you've seen all the context you need. The rest of the video,
Bro, 3 a.m.
I gotta finish it out. Just
3 a.m. is
just for the context. You know what I mean? Just to be accurate.
Witching
What
hour, my friend.
business does a 19-year-old woman have talking about these sorts of things with a 14-year-old at 3 a.m.?
It's so 19-year-old fucking woman. 19. It's so annoying. I listen. 19-year-olds are children to me, kind of. You're a young adult, but you're already immature at 19.
Fucking weird.
And we're gonna get super fucking woke, especially when these young people all went through fucking COVID, which was like years where they didn't go out and socially interact, and they stayed in these already
COVID's
like
over,
very
Papa. It's been like 5 years.
online, socially awkward, internet
It's
spaces.
been like 6 years, bro.
And then she has autism, which she seems to be managing, but adds another layer of difficulty when it comes to social interaction.
I struggled
And
with it
it's
a
like
lot, but
we have all these different things, and like we are grown adults. What are you talking about, bro? Like, and I don't even know the age of the other mind. Like, what is this? A Call Me Carson scenario? They're not even hitting on anybody. You got 19. Like, what is the other person? 17? You keep saying minor. At this point, the word minor is a fucking dog whistle. Because, like, they got people that are like, oh my God, this 19-year-old is talking to a minor. Well, how old is the minor? 17. Oh my God, holy fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? A minor could be a literal toddler, or it could be a 17-year-old. You need to be specific about this stuff. It matters. All of this matters. What the fuck?
I hope you guys see why I don't think Phibbs is innocent. Another thing I haven't seen people talk
Nobody's saying that she's innocent. This is what the fucking problem is too. Nobody's saying that they're innocent. We're talking about, are they guilty of being a predator? None of this language is so far as predatory. This isn't innocent guilty. Like, Phibbs is guilty of awkward online social interactions that are irresponsible. But we haven't seen anything predator related. We've seen cringe posting. Vinge's 14. This is the dude that we're talking about in the Gideon stream, the one who said nothing sexual happened. Oh yeah, Gideon read all the messages. This is the Vance guy where it was like all awkward, but nothing was sexual. And to Vance's credit, you know, you're young, you're 14 years old. This is the problem, is that like this Vance guy is more of a victim of people like Bloodspeth, who are also probably fucking 14 years old, and they are of Phibbs. Phibbs is like awkward online. So this 14-year-old's interacting with this person. Some of it's cringe posting. They're all trying to be like edgy emo. They shouldn't really be having these conversations in general, but like she's older, so she shouldn't really be, interacting with these. There's no sexual harassment. There's no grooming. There's nothing like that going on. But then this 14-year-old gets told by these fucking insane lolcow networks that just centralize around harassing the fuck out of lolcows with disabilities. And they go, oh my God, I've been victimized. These are the people that are making people feel victimized online. Like, these are the same people. Like, this is the same energy that you get applied to like fucking other people online that makes them feel infantilized. Like, like you on TikTok and there are some people that are like, oh my God, I was groomed, or I was this, or I was that. And a lot of times it's like very sensationalized language where that didn't happen. It's because we have a very bizarre interaction with wanting to be a victim online, right? And this is part of it. This is a cringe, inappropriate interaction that is not traumatizing at all, that now somebody's telling somebody who's young that it was traumatizing and that you should feel traumatized. And especially for a young person who's probably already emotionally vulnerable because they're going through puberty and they're young, that's a very vulnerable time for them mentally. And you're inserting feelings into their brain that they would not have normally felt.
On gold for...
You're more of the problem.
That is
you're encouraging them to feel like they were victimized. So this Vance guy isn't even isn't even a bad person. It's these fucking crazy lolcow networks, dude. It's these insane lolcow networks, and it's like it's impossible to communicate these things to some of these people because they just don't want to get it. whatsoever.
talk about much is Fibs literally pretending to be this miner's fictional crush. So this miner Yume ships, quote unquote, this character Virgil from this.
I'm alive. Ha. Hi. It's funny how you're a Virgil Yumi, but I'm basically him. I think I kin him. I don't know what the fuck that means.
These people are so fucking.
I lava Virgil. Sorry, I was tweaking out about him last night. Forgot half of the shit I did with my profile. LMAO. Oh shit, never mind. I remember what I did. Sai, what did you do? Okay.
Online series. And a Yume ship is basically like when you ship yourself with a character, like a relationship. And
so they're saying that they ship themselves with a character, and this person happens to be cosplaying mentally as the character. And so you're drawing the connection that she's trying to rape him. Okay.
Fibs pointed that out and said it was funny because she basically kins him, meaning she identifies with the character, which, weird, you know, you're 19 and you're telling this minor that you identify with the fictional character they have a crush on. Weird, but that's not it. Fibs.
Oh, I guess I got it in the opposite direction. Cool.
The miner's trying
Virgil.
to fuck Fibs.
Okay. Wait, I'm alive. Van says hi. Fib says it's funny how you're Virgil Yumi, but I'm basically him. Okay, so they're saying, what is, I don't even know what these words mean. Maybe I don't know what is Yumi, what does Virgil Yumi mean? It's funny how you're a Virgil Yumi. I don't know what does this mean? Okay, so apparently Yume means dream. So apparently they are a Virgil dream, so they pretend to be Virgil, but I'm basically him. I think I can.
More first aid.
Dude, this is fucking gay.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Sorry.
Didn't give me anything.
What are we doing here?
Basically kins him,
Okay,
meaning
cool.
she identifies with the character.
Kinning a character equals you relate to
You
that
didn't
character.
teach me
Yume
shit.
equals short for Yume shipper. Well, I don't know what a Yume shipper is. Yume, not Yumi. Yume. Got it. Thank you guys. We're learning it in real time what words that don't matter.
Which, weird, you know, you're 19 and you're telling this
Whatever.
minor that you identify with the fictional character they have a crush on.
Crazy.
Weird, but that's not it. Fibs pretended to have DID, which in layman's terms is multiple personality disorder, and one of these.
The idea is dissociative identity disorder. What? Not to harp on it, but these two things are okay. Got it. They're the same thing. Okay, I guess that's fine. I don't know why I'm getting hung up on dumb details.
His alters or personalities was this character.
Poppy, you do that a lot.
Crush on.
Okay.
So you'd see in the chats, they literally pretend to be the character.
When did Fib say they had DID? What is this? What is this?
And why are you talking like a kid's fictional crush in their DMs at night? Like, you guys see where I'm getting at with this? And I hope.
No, I don't. I don't even understand. When did they say they had DID? This is like brand new. Because they're pretending to be a gay anime character. All of a sudden, sorry, I shouldn't use the word gay like that. Since they're pretending to be an anime character, they have DID now.
No one tries to make the really dumb argument that she actually does have DID, you know, and one of these characters happens to be this miner's fictional crush. That's totally a thing that happens.
Okay.
Not. But now let's get into the group chat, which is arguably worse. Keep in mind that Fibs was the only adult in the group chat. She was 19 and everyone else was 17 and below, which, weird again, why are you an adult in a group chat full of minors on Discord where you won't roleplay? And speaking of, she loved roleplay. She would always ask.
Okay, did they sexual roleplay? I'm pretty sure the roleplay was just them like pretending to hang out in person. It was actually sad. Like it was kind of sad. Like I felt bad for them.
To roleplay. So much so that she complained to the minor in DM.
Are you okay? Just bored and a little left out since I feel like I'm the only one constantly wanting to RP. Plus, then I feel like I'm majorly annoying. Okay, this is totally normal. They're just being a little cringe.
That she felt like she was the only one who wanted to roleplay. Like, excuse you. This is one of the most concerning screenshots in my opinion, and it's the one where Fibs is sending a bunch of first rap self.
Here, take a break from all the ugly hoes in the group chat for a second. This is a flip phone. What the fuck? Love the piercing. Me? Cool. They're feeling themselves. Probably shouldn't be doing this. Is there anything to follow it up that they're trying to have sex with all the children in the group and the thing? Just cringe posting.
Selfies to the group chat, full of minors by the way, and then said take a break from all the ugly blinks in the group chat. Just really just
ugly blanks.
Say, but like, why are you sending first rap selfies to minors? Do you want them to call you hot or something? That's gross. And you know,
maybe. It's interesting how there's all these allegations of them being some kind of a groomer, and not a single post that shows them trying to sleep with a child.
What? They actually just responded to me about those two SH screenshots I showed you earlier. Said, quote, I don't see anything wrong in those that I did. Emphasize.
If you don't want to go in depth on that, I understand. There's a few screenshots I appreciate explanation for. I didn't see anything wrong with those that I did. Me saying, ooh, is just basically me being uncomfortable and not knowing what to say. But that's actually a totally normal response that they would make here. They're just being uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, got it. Like, they're not trying to play. Bro, like, think about it this way. This is what's so funny to me. This was so funny. So, again, Fibs shouldn't really be in these Discord, Discord with, like, younger people. They're a not popular online content creator. that blew up, and people joined the Discord. It's a lot of like kind of anime cringe stuff for young people. Again, they have like autism, they went through COVID. That's very stunting for your development in different ways, staying at home, all these other things that you struggle with online, just like social interaction in general. So now they're in a Discord and they're having this chat with somebody. I don't know if it's a one-on-one chat or if it's in like the regular Discord.
I don't want to get a Baron cut
of two going back and forth. But this person here who is
younger
lizards, is like, oh man, I used to cut myself and blah, blah, blah. And like, what do you say to that? Like, what do you say to that? Like if you completely stop talking to them, the person that cuts themselves might get depressed and cut themselves more. Or if you feed too much into it, that could be toxic too. So she's just like, oh, okay. What do you say? You know what I mean? Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you supposed to say? Holy fuck. Oh my God, I'm calling the police. Like, what do you say? What do you say? You just awkwardly go, oh, crazy, dude. That's crazy.
As I did, me saying ooh was basically me being uncomfortable and not knowing what to say like at all, which this makes her look so much worse in my eyes.
How?
It doesn't. It makes her look normal.
Number one, that's a kid. That's a minor. Why are you like victim blaming them? Don't see anything.
They're not victim blaming anybody. They're not blaming them for it. What?
Wrong that I did. After, here's some screenshots, by the way, telling her, oh, I see myself so much in you. You can vent to me whenever.
I see myself so much in you. Let's see. That's why I kind of felt a connection to you, because I know what it's like to feel everybody. What's the rest of this? Everybody doesn't like them? Yeah, but eventually you kind of realize that these people don't deserve you. Like Vance, genuinely are an awesome person, and I believe in you so much because you see me in you. Because I see you and me. Okay, so they're both having a conversation. Apparently Vance is struggling to make friends. And then Phibbs is like, yeah, you eventually realize you don't need, like, they don't deserve you because you put your energy into them. I don't know the full context. I'm kind of making that up, but frankly, it makes sense based on how I'm reading this. That's why I kind of felt the connection to you, because I know what it's like to feel everybody, and then we don't get to see the rest of it because context doesn't matter to these creators. Yeah, but eventually you kind of realize that these people don't deserve you. So it sounds like they're having this conversation. Do I think that there should be this close of like a friendship between these few people? Probably not. Do I think that this person is trying to traumatize them? No, it sounds like they're both depressed and they're just sharing that depressive experience. That relationship could be taken and used in some kind of a grooming capacity, which is why we generally advocate against these things, right? It's not,
but when two young people are doing this, it's just very cringe, and people can't handle cringe, right?
Like this, and now they know, and I think they're going to stop. But the problem with these relationships is that they can be taken advantage of, and we haven't seen a single instance of that getting taken advantage of. Phibbs seems to be trying to help them, even if that help is inappropriate, but not in a sexual sense. Just in the sense that like those two probably shouldn't be sitting there bonding too much. But like in general, this isn't like super inappropriate in the real world. I'm an Eagle Scout, so like when I'm in the Boy Scouts, people start as young as I think 13. So if you're like a 17-year-old and your 13-year-old troop person in your troop is like, man, I'm kind of depressed at home, and you're like, oh, okay, like let's talk about it. Like you don't tell them to go fuck off and tell someone else. You would sit there and you would talk to them. That wouldn't be considered inappropriate, right? Because you're in the same environment. Like you're there to do scouting together and to grow and to learn, and as you get older, you're supposed to help the younger troops. I'm not sitting here saying that this is what this dynamic is. What I'm saying is that you guys look at this and you're so fucking brain broken because you think that everything is sexual assault, rape, and grooming, that you can't look at it and go like, okay, I see where the inappropriate stuff is because it could be taken advantage of, and it's not an experience that is curated with adults like this, like scouting is. But like fundamentally, this doesn't always trigger, oh my God, grooming. You guys have so brain broken that you guys don't understand because you're young and like you've been groomed online. This is your whole life. You don't go outside. You don't socially interact. You don't have girlfriends. You don't have any real life relationships. You don't do anything except for sit online and constantly obsess about lol-cow harassment content all day. And you think that's your whole world. You think that's your whole fucking world. Boy Scouts isn't the best example. It was the Scoutmasters that were fucking molesting the kids, not the other kids, okay? This is your whole world. You've been gaslit by this atmosphere to think that everything is insanely like horrible and terrible and toxic.
And you can vent to me whenever.
Wow, you can vent to me whatever. Okay, thank you so much for caring about me. Genuinely means a lot. Are you okay though? Yeah, just a little drained. V. Fair. If you ever want to chat about anything, I'm here. Okay, cool. Sounds nice.
And
partner knows fuck, I'm about to lose my shit. Do you want to call so we can rant about it? Okay.
Now, as soon as like you're getting crap for it, because this is a minor, they're very
damn sorry for the random dump, man. No, you're good. You just need somebody to talk to. talk it out. And I'm good for that and giving relatable advice. Bro, it sounds like Phibbs was really trying to be this person's friend in a nice way.
Young and you're almost 20 years old. You're victim blaming.
Yeah, of course they were.
What a disgusting thing to say, dude. And you know what? I actually
They didn't victim blame them.
went back and looked at the dates of the messages of when all these conversations happened, and they were all within literally 3 days of knowing each other. Both the group chat started and Phibbs DM'd the minor on the 27th,
Crazy.
and they stopped talking on the 30th. So let me ask you a question. When a grown adult talks to a minor for only a couple days on Discord, and in that time they pretend to have another personality, being the minor's fictional crush, have
Okay. Good faith.
very intricate personal discussions at night in regards to their issues and struggles with SH, and also guilt tripping them into talking and role-playing, would you or would you
Tripping them? Okay.
not call that grouping? Because personally, I definitely would. And by guilt
What you're saying is incredibly stupid. Your framing is so dumb. I've already gone through that meticulously why this is wrong.
tripping, I'm referring to this screenshot where they unadded Phibbs, and Phibbs went to the group chat immediately to guilt trip them into adding her back.
Fans, please accept my friend request. I cannot message you. I'm at the mall and I unfriended you because I was skitzing out. I'm sorry. You can just text me here. Oh, huh? Yeah, we had a little issue. Hi guys. What do you mean? I'll read the Twilight books. I'll read the Twilight. What? Send them to me. Yes. It's just like a little. I feel a little bad because we were not friends anymore. I'm confused. Why? We must chat here. Vance is taking a shit. My internet is bad and I can add you once I'm better. Okay. I was freaking out last night. Okay. I was just a little confused. Okay.
Very like children.
What do I get out of this? What am I supposed to get out of this? Sounds like they added them because maybe they said something to Phibbs and it made them feel embarrassed or what. Okay, cool.
Like, this is literally a child. Why are you talking to them like this? I just can't shake the disgust from this off of me.
I
Phibbs
know.
would also get very mad and
Let's RP. You promise? Yes. Okay. We can just RP in VG. I just want to call. Don't lie to me. Just to get me in voice chat. I never said I promise. I don't play around with this shit like that. So sorry. I'm already tired, so please don't say you're gonna do something that don't. Okay, cool.
send messages and voice messages cursing out these minors if they like aren't talking to her or about her, or if they're not role playing with her.
So that's not even close to what just happened. What just happened is that Phibbs seems to want to role play, but not in call. But the person will only role play in call, and they're like, you better not just try to get me in the call and not actually role play with me, because they like to role play because that's what they do. Okay.
Here is one example. That's just a screenshot, and then I'm gonna play some audio recordings for you.
Guys, if we keep talking about love and such, I'm going to myself. Please change the topic. Thank God.
What's wrong with that?
If we keep talking about love and such, I'm going to
Love and what?
myself. Please change the
Love
topic.
and such.
Sounds like they. Hold on a second.
It's for you.
I think that they censored something here, and that's the problem.
Guys, if we keep talking about love and such, I'm
Okay.
going to myself. Please change the topic.
Am I so it sounds like she's saying let's stop talking about love. I don't know if that's love as a character or if they wanted to redirect the conversation away from romantic interactions. Doesn't that make Phibbs look really good? Am I wrong?
Guys, if we keep talking about love and such, I'm going to myself. Please change the topic.
Doesn't this make her look really good?
Yeah, because she's not trying to
Doesn't this
have
make
conversations with a
make
minor
her
about
look good?
love.
She's trying
She's
to
just
steer
trying to
conversations
cringily
away from
roleplay.
romantic conversations. I mean, maybe a character's name is Love. I don't know. Everyone, can someone please tell me what's happening? Okay, they don't want this topic to be about love because it's pissing me off, and I'll just tell you in DMs. Okay, yo, Vance, come get your bitch ass ex. Uh-oh, and then they say that. Bro, shut up. Oh my god. Oh, right.
Thank God. I'm not equipped to be a marriage therapist, so let's just not.
Dude, I don't know if you realize that this destroys your narrative. Because they're literally saying, hey, we need to stop talking about romantic interactions. Holy fuck, to like everybody in the group. She's literally saying, guys, stop talking about romantic stuff. You're trying to say she's a fucking groomer when she's trying to steer conversations away from romantic conversations. Holy fuck. You're actually brain broken. You're actually so brain broken. It's fucking insane. It is insane how fucking brain broken you are.
They just want
my
drama.
God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They just want to talk about something that makes them
Bro,
uncomfortable,
go
but it's
to
not
DN.
necessarily bad.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but it's just when people talk about one specific topic for a long period of time, I will lose my shit. Is that my pronouns page? Okay, so gender flux is when your gender like fluctuates. Asflux is basically the same, but with A, so I said it fluctuates as well. Panromantic is just pan, but like in romantic attraction and stuff. Ambimorious is like if you're poly but mono. No, I'm joking. Ambimorious is when it really depends on your partner.
Okay, so now they're basically doing fucking patronums with
Yeah.
LGBTQ shit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my gender. This is my thing. This is all what the kids do when they're looking for attention. I'm not saying trans people aren't real or anything. I'm just saying that this is like they replace this with like my patronum is like deer, just like Harry Potter. Harry Potter's mom. Wait a minute, that's Snape's fucking Patronus too. Oh my god, what the fuck? Alright, you know what I mean? Like this is what they're doing. They're just like being fake, like a cringe, and they're trying to have an identity. That's what a lot of people do when they're young. They're identity searching. Okay, cool. Is this part of the grooming narrative?
Xenogender is when you go by neopronouns, and you probably already know what autistic is.
But we aren't done just yet. Another minor who's 16, which I understand isn't as bad as if she was 2 years younger like the other minor, but still, you know, it doesn't.
Literally, what are we talking about, bro?
How old are you?
16.
How old are you?
Romantic way. Even Fibs herself admitted, but she called it white romance, whatever. But either way, here's the first screenshot where they offer to do a
out of character. You said you wanted to slow burn RP. I'm kind of down for that. Oh yeah, I'd actually love that. But then we should. What is slow burn? So AI guys, we're AI. Slow burn roleplay is a narrative-driven experience where characters' relationships, particularly romantic or platonic bonds, develop gradually, focusing on deep emotional connection. Okay, UST. And pining over quick romance. So they might have been doing sex stuff, but I don't really know the specific context. But okay, let's see what we got.
slow burn roleplay with Fibs, and of course she accepted. And here's another one that hasn't actually been seen before, where Fibs is...
Wait, that's it? You don't have any of the specifics?
Why would he?
He's 18? Oh my Jesus Christ. The Bloodspeth guy's 18, of course. Of course. Grown adult. No. Okay, so we got nothing there. They said that they want to do slow burn role play, and then we have none of the specifics, so we don't even know if it was sexual.
First minor jealous.
Let's see. Please, we still need to develop the Virgil X Roman ship. I can do one in the call. I don't know what the context of this means.
Asking the slightly older minor to develop their ship more in roleplays. These are just some of the screenshots I've gathered in total.
Is it their ship, or are they just... Okay, sure.
Total, but I'm going to post everything on my Twitter when I can, but I just want to gather everything from the group chat and the DMs before I do. But yeah, I mean, in summary, this stuff is disgusting, and Fibs does not have the right to a platform, in my opinion. She does not deserve to have millions of followers and all these minors watching her videos that...
The irony here is palpable because, like, as inappropriate as Fibs has interacted, which is completely, like, non-sexual and hasn't harmed a single person, but the problem with the relationships is that they could be used to groom, so we should just stay away from allowing people to do that, is that despite the bad things that they have done, you are objectively worse off for every child that watches your content. No adults watch your content. Nobody with kids watches your content. I don't know who the fuck told you that. If they are, then they need to have their kids taken away. Your entire content strategy is to highlight lolcows with intellectual or developmental disabilities and be part of the relentless bullying, harassment, onslaught against these people to distress them further into being more depressed and making worse decisions. Yeah. And then brain fucking your audience into thinking every interaction that is slightly inappropriate is literally pedophilia. You are destroying the brains of people, and you're part of a network because you just watch other people who do that. You're literally just pyramid scheming, fucking insane mental online perspectives that are fucking destroying people's mental health. What are you talking about? You are terminally online. Get a friend in real life and get off the fucking internet. This guy's Discord is probably full of a bunch of of them sending a bunch of edgy fucking memes at each other. They probably send each other fucking George Droid and Charlie Clank memes. And you know what I mean? Like, you guys are all, you enjoy edgy memes. They enjoy cringe RP, like role playing. That's it. Like, what the fuck?
She should be banned immediately. Sadly, the internet doesn't really work that.
He said in the debate that bullying lolcows inspired his viewers to get their lives together.
That way, but you know, I mean, if it did, then a lot of people who are uploading right now wouldn't have their platforms. So we just gotta hope that TikTok makes the right decision and bans the predator off their platform. I know I might get hate for saying this, but I mean,
there's no predatory anything. Shut up.
And I really don't care. People still defend Fibs even after very obvious proof gets shown. So you know, that's all I have to say. But one last thing before I go, Fibs opened up a cameo. She is literally
oh my god, she's raping everybody who gives her money. Holy fuck! Now I realize she's a predator. Fuck, dude. Oh my god. The world is fucking cooked. That's it. That proved it to me.
Profiting off of these allegations.
Oh my god, she's profiting off of these allegations.
Made almost $1,000 already.
Why are you calling them allegations?
$1,000.
Why are you calling them allegations? You just said she's a fucking predator. You're saying she's a predator groomer. They're not allegations in your opinion. You think that they're real. Calling it an allegation when you are saying that they are a predator groomer means that you don't believe what you're saying. You wouldn't use the word allegations. By your logic, you're showing us proof that she wants to rape kids. That she's a predator groomer that wants to rape these kids. But now it's an allegation. Okay, which one is it? What words do you know how to, like, it doesn't make any sense. If you were so convinced that you're right, then why are the allegations to you? Doesn't make any sense.
Which
Because you're showing us the proof.
does not make me feel very good, especially with these minors, with what happened to them, and they have to see this adult who was doing those things with them, making money like online off of their career, and then going around saying that they're innocent. I couldn't even imagine how that feels. And
It doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like anything. Nothing happened. Nobody's traumatized. Nobody's upset. Nobody's traumatized. Nobody cares. These kids have no trauma. There's no trauma in any of these interactions.
I myself am, as you can tell, not exactly ecstatic about everything, so just imagine how they feel. That's it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd greatly
Bro,
appreciate
your whole entire personality is virtue signaling on the internet.
it. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. And if you have any opinions on this whole situation, let me know in the comments as well. Thank you.
Dude, every one of these fucking weird, like, lolcow harassers they act just like fucking...
And romanticizing self-harm, which are genuine problems that I feel should be talked about and spoken about in regards to fibs.
For sure. I think that from my understanding, that they already were talked about when it came to with Gideon. 100% though.
However, when you throw the pedophile label on her that stringently and without evidence, that's what the entire conversation becomes, because it is by far the most abhorrent and strongest claim, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, the conversation gets dominated by the most exaggerated claim because, like, it's not a true claim. So we kind of have to contend with that one first, instead of having proportionate criticism for this person.
So it makes the actual topics that should be spoken about that much harder to actually speak about. I feel a bit bad for Fibs, but at the same time, she should be criticized for her actions. It's not a difficult dichotomy to understand. Like, I'm sure we can all agree that Chris Chan sexually assaulting their mother was a fucking horrible thing to do. That being said, I feel horrible for Chris Chan. Chris Chan is someone who was failed by everyone in their life.
Everyone sexually harassed their mother because of the lolcow network. Like,
Yeah.
I remember there was this particular conversation where they were talking to some girl, and the girl's like, "Oh, you think your mom wants to sleep with you? You should do that," right? And this is
Literally
an entire
coercing
network where the
him.
person, Christian had not a single authentic relationship their entire life. Even their dad, because we watched like 70 parts of the Christian documentary. There was even a point where, like, the dad paid people to be Christian's friends. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that. Not a single authentic friend at all. Of course, you're going to act inappropriately. You're going to have a pretty fucked perspective on things. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean that Christians should be I know that they're like not in jail right now, but it doesn't mean that they should get away with it or anything. But like, we have to bring up the context of like these deep lolcow bullying networks that create these problems. Christian wasn't a rapist, and doubtfully, and probably wouldn't have been one if it wasn't for all the online harassment. That's what it is. Like, yeah, they're basically a case study.
From the day they were born, essentially. They were bullied relentlessly online. They had all these mental disorders that weren't being looked after properly. So as much—
Remember, like, the pickle man cost, like, somebody showed up in a pickle suit and just kept harassing him. That was supposed to be like a friend or somebody that was like, "Oh, I'll date you," or whatever. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Christian's relatable. They just looking for love, and they were just bullied relentlessly.
As much as I feel bad for them, I can still acknowledge that sexually assaulting your own mother is really, really, really bad. I don't know. I feel like
if you want to have like fewer mothers being sexually assaulted by their by their fucking kids or whatever, you would understand like a harm reduction perspective on this topic and be like, okay, we have to stop relentlessly harassing lolcows.
Yeah,
it's not that
like,
difficult to actually understand. This is the thing. Like, if
You
Chris Chan was, I'm
harassing
not
them
saying you
just
have to be
makes it
best friends with her, but to bully them the way that they were bullied is fucking crazy, because that's what leads to a lot of this shit. When we finally learn to when we finally understand, look, there's a reason why 30% of people in youth offending prisons have ADHD. I'm not sure what is the population of people who actually have ADHD, because I know it's massively disproportionate sort of representation in the prison or judicial system. 3.4% of adults and 5% of children.
I never heard that before, but that would kind of make sense, because usually you're like rambunctious
no
when
way
you
I
have
didn't grab a
ADHD.
flawed stone before I
I
got
have
here.
ADHD, so
That's
you can be a
embarrassing.
little difficult to deal with. Also, generally speaking, like, young men with some kind of disability tend to be manifests in aggression in a lot of instances. It's one of the reasons why we need more male social workers to help, especially people with like autism, men with autism. Because a lot of times it manifests in aggressiveness, and that would make sense as to why there are more people with disabilities. So, with or ADHD or probably young men. That's probably what it is inside a prison. So
yeah, so massive overrepresentation. And the same thing can be said with autism. The analysis is a little messier scientific-wise. From what I understand, when it comes to like online offenses, stalking, harassment, sort of fixation-based behavior, and some sexual boundary offenses as well, such as pedophilia, obviously the social naivety, the rigid thinking, the intense fixation, the loneliness, the misunderstanding of like age and consent norms that a lot of autistic people face could play a role. That's not saying that autism in and of itself is a predictor for horrific crimes at all. But it's the traits that come with very untreated, undocumented, what's the word? When you're not undiagnosed, that's it, undiagnosed and mistreated autism, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes the neurodivergently misjudged when it comes to social boundaries, but isn't an excuse for assault. Of course, it's not an excuse, but it's
People
very
just
important.
treat awkward
It's
and
like,
cringe
just to be
people as
absolutely
if
clear,
they
an
are
excuse doesn't mean
a
that like you're
monster
totally
or
free.
a predator
Like
because they
having
are different.
an excuse, a reason.
Some
part
of them
the
are.
disciplinary, it doesn't get rid of the
Cyrax
issue that you
is
have
one
or
of
you
them.
did
He
wrong,
needs to go.
but it helps explain the behavior. Like assault is like a very exaggerated claim. I know that they're talking specifically about the Christian stuff, but it adds an extra element. And if you study that element, you realize that there's like an entire harassment network against Christian. You're like, oh wait, this actually makes some sense. And you would understand that like you would put some of, not all of, but actually a pretty considerable amount of the blame for all the fucked up shit that's going on with Christian on the people harassing Christian, because they probably wouldn't have done these terrible things if they weren't like had like all their relationships destroyed in their life and encouraged to engage in bad behavior.
Important to understand, because if you don't understand what's causing these actions, then it's going to be very
Yes, an explanation, so an excuse. That's probably a better way to look at it because of the stigmas attached to some of these words, for sure.
difficult to fix the problem or sort the issue. But like, autism's not a predictor by any means. Most autistic people will not commit any of those crimes. It's usually a cluster of things like isolation, also comorbid ADHD, because if you're autistic, you're a lot more likely to have ADHD, and ADHD is a legitimate predictor because of impulsivity mainly. There's also the trauma that might come with autism, especially through COVID and what was it, quarantine for sure. It does not help when it comes to like social boundaries or learning how to be social. Substance abuse as well. You're a lot more likely to abuse substances if you're autistic. I think sex education massively needs to be improved throughout the West. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much generally. Wait, Gideon's
God
calling me.
damn.
I like both of y'all. I like Blood. I like you. I just want to listen.
Does he actually like this Bloodspeth guy? 'Cause I feel like Gideon is a people pleaser. You know what I mean? I feel like Gideon doesn't want to be in trouble. He doesn't want people to dislike him. So he's like, well, I like all you guys.
I
you know
think
what I mean?
Gideon is just not trying to start.
I like all you guys, you know?
I think Gideon is just trying to say, I ain't trying to start any beef. I don't dislike this guy, but if he keeps going, like, he doesn't say this specifically, but if he keeps going, I'm assuming Gideon's
Of a
gonna say something.
placater. I get some of that energy out of him sometimes.
That's all good.
So, yeah, because I just want to hear. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, you're more than welcome. Are you gonna be on call, or do you want to, or stay?
What time's the debate?
He said he'll be ready in 10
The debate. Ooh.
minutes. 11 minutes ago.
Oh, so it could be like any second.
Yeah, he'll send a message just pretty soon, I think.
Damn, he's dodging you, dude. He was dodging you.
Oh, bet. Yeah, I'll stay in the call and listen. Is it beef between you two, or is it just a discussion?
I made a video response to this bloke called Pooh Boy, who he made a video on me, you, and a YouTuber called Papagut, who were very defensive of fibs, I suppose.
Whoa.
I reacted to that, and then
Maybe I should actually watch that full video just to get the full context. Actually, maybe I'll do that after. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Beth put out a post calling me it was a very mean post. It was very, very strongly worded, so I don't think they like me very much. It's nothing personal between me.
What the hell?
But I think the content is dog shit.
True.
And I don't like the way that they cover lolcows and stuff. I'll read the post out, actually. I can show you guys, to be fair. This is kind of important context. Okay, let me share screen. Here we go. I just watched Danky's Rose response to Pooh Boy's video, which he was a minimal part of on
Crazy, dude. Gideon didn't even flinch at the name Papa Gut. It's fucked up, dude. We used to be friendly, dude.
stream, and it's honestly one of the most garbage, infuriating, misinformed, and narcissistic videos I've ever seen. On multiple occasions, he absolutely loses his shit and starts screaming like a literal child over topics he completely misunderstands, insulting Pooh Boy and suffering extreme cortisol spikes.
He's hunting predators.
Not just that, he's completely misinformed and says countless subjectively incorrect and misleading things in this video. He accuses Pooh Boy and me of not doing research, but at the same time downplays and brushes past serious evidence and straight up ignores other things. I will cover all this in my response video, which will be up by tomorrow. FYI, Danky said in confidence that he does not think that Nova is a pedophile. Hope that gives you an idea of who he is, but don't worry, he doesn't say the R word or make fun of people's looks, so he's better than those dirty lolcow YouTubers. So that's a post he put up.
Oh man, okay.
I left a comment essentially.
Nah.
Bro, the war is starting. The war is starting between the fucking lolcow obsessors and the normal people online, dude.
Now Nova.
Another chat on screen. We can have a chat, and he was like, sure.
Nova's Nova's a what's it called? He's a different
He's a different beast, I agree, but I also didn't say in confidence that he wasn't a pedophile. I said
Yeah, I don't really know the Nova situation. I have no idea what the fuck's going on with that.
something along the lines of, I never called him a pedophile in my first video. But that was like a year ago. And I don't know enough about him to have a strong opinion, really. Because I don't obsess over, like, this guy Bloodspeth, he has 35 videos on Nova Online. I don't obsess over him that much. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
He might be a pedophile. I have no idea, but also how it's like impossible to trust these people because they are so misinformed on all of their commentary. They're like, how would we even know what the fuck is going on? It's like impossible to even know if like they're accurate. Like they're not trustworthy sources of information. You have to like parse the information yourself.
Oh, if that's like an appropriate label. My issue with the pedophile claim, I said this already, is that there are legitimately bad things that Fibs has done. I'm sure me and you can agree on that, yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
but when you throw around the term pedophile, that sort of detracts from the conversation about those really bad things, because then the whole conversation becomes about the pedophile claim. So if we leave that out and don't over-sensationalize that bullshit, then we can have a genuine discussion about the self-harm stuff and the role play with the minors and all that. But when you throw around the term pedophile willy-nilly, it just sort of deads every other claim. Well, do you hang on, real quick, Bloodspeth? Is your government name out there, or should I just call you Bloodspeth?
Yeah, it's Bloodspeth's fine. I know it's a little silly, but yeah.
All right, Bloodspeth's cool.
I mean, Blood is too.
Okay. How old are you, real quick, as well?
18.
18. Okay, cool, no problem.
Ooh, yeah. I would have rather seen
Good
this.
question.
So
This is what I
all right,
would
you wanna start
have
then?
watched.
Yeah, I watched your response video on Pooh Boy yesterday, and
Whoa.
yeah, I don't think he made the most perfect video. There are definitely things I would have changed. I do very much disagree with the response and a lot of the ways you acted during parts of it, and some of the points you make, as well as the you did ignore some things as well, which I don't want to assume that it's malicious, but I felt that they were like really important. But we'll get into that.
Okay, sure. So my argument is pretty simple.
Yeah.
I think Fibs did things that were inappropriate and dangerous and irresponsible around minors. I'm not defending those actions, but I'm saying the evidence does not support calling her a pedophile.
I also don't think that the evidence supports that they did any of it maliciously, which I think is something. I think that context matters. I don't think that they were having these like self-harm conversations because they were trying to lead people towards self-harm. I think that they're immature and they're like doing some cringe glorification of like it's emo and cool. Oh, I'm so dark and mysterious. That's the energy that I get out of there. But it's inappropriate, right? That's the problem.
And those are two very different claims. So if you want to call her unsafe around minors, if you want to, I'll have that conversation, right? If that's what you want to say. If you want to say she shouldn't run a Discord with minors, I completely agree. If you want to say that her self-harm comments were disgusting and potentially harmful, I agree with that as well. But if you want to call her a pedophile, you need actual evidence of sexual attraction to children, and I don't think that that evidence exists here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So have you
It doesn't. There's no. It doesn't exist.
looked into the new stuff?
The new screenshots with Vance, yeah?
Yeah. So and you agreed in Pooh Boy's video that it was inappropriate, right?
Yeah, the
I think that fucking shitting your pants and throwing it at people is inappropriate too. It doesn't make it pedophilic.
farm stuff is the worst part.
Yeah.
I don't think it was harmless. I don't think it was just cringe. I think it was dangerous, especially around many young and vulnerable fans.
Nova's a very long arch, a little worth looking at. Maybe if Turkey Tom makes a big long video about it or something.
But my disagreement isn't over whether or not that's bad. My disagreement
No, I
is
know.
over whether that makes them a pedophile.
But you understand the precedent of her already having an established history with fetishizing and sexualizing self-harm, right?
Where?
What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with? And what does that have to do with pedophilia?
And when you do it in
Where?
private with a minor, you could argue that that's sexual, isn't it?
Where to this
You
altar?
could argue
and
that.
Altar and
I
where?
think if you want, I guess, but like, there's what does that mean? When you say fetish, what fetishization do we even see? Is there a fetishizing of it? They were like, oh, it's cool. They were, I don't know if they're fetishizing it in a sexual capacity. What is that? Oh, it's because she's like, oh, I wish I could find like a boyfriend that would, cut themselves and I name into them like some like weird little edgy fucking cringe shit. Is that where we're getting the sexualized from? I don't know if that's inherently like instantly sexual or if that's like, oh, dude, I fucking hate this game. I don't know if I would say it was sexualized instantaneously.
I don't think you could argue that unless you had very good evidence that it was sexual. It strengthens
Well,
the
there
case.
is evidence that-
It strengthens the case that she shouldn't be around minor-heavy communities, which she
Fuck
definitely
nice.
shouldn't. But it doesn't strengthen the case that she's sexually attracted to children.
So she sexualizes self-harm.
Does she?
And-
Where does she sexualize self-harm? I don't see that.
and
Wait,
she
wait,
talks
wait, wait.
about,
What do you mean she sexualizes self-harm?
I want
that-
someone to carve their name into me.
Those
That's not sexualizing self-harm.
new bits, the new evidence you showed was how long did I remember someone saying they knew each other for 3 days at that point, correct?
Yeah, I said that. Then they did.
Yeah, so
all the discussions happened within 3 days.
It's not as though Phibbs groomed this person into self-harm. This was a young kid who had a lot of problems that was getting involved with another very mentally ill, not as young child, but 19 years old. And they were sort of feeding off of each other's trauma, if that makes sense. Now, Phibbs, as the adult, absolutely should have removed herself from that position, but there was nothing sexual about those conversations. I think you really need to start digging and reaching to find some sexual shit there.
No, I mean, those two are really what do it for me.
Oh, well, then you just don't know how to parse through information, right? So like we've solved the problem. You don't
Inside
you don't really know how to parse through information. You don't understand. Like that's pretty much what it comes down to. Like you don't really understand what you're saying.
Just because, and Pooh Boy made this point. He said if it was anyone else, they could have given her the benefit of the doubt because she claimed in my DMs that it wasn't inherently, or that wasn't sexual. The ooze statements, and the reason that we think so, and I mean, I don't know if you do as well, but she has an established history of sexualizing self-harm. So when you talk about self-harm in private to a minor, by the way, at 3 a.m.
What's the pattern of doing that? Where is that substantiated that they have a habit of doing that? What?
Would it be outrageous for one to find that inappropriate?
No, it's not outrageous to find it inappropriate. It's outrageous to call her a pedophile because of it.
Yes.
So she says inappropriate things in DMs with a minor, but she's not a pedophile?
Dude,
Yeah.
We can't, this conversation is like never going to be productive, ever. This conversation will never be productive. This is like the most brain rot shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
I found it.
Like you have to understand. This person doesn't understand what words mean. We can't talk about the word. We don't even understand what the word inappropriate means. This person is so brain fucked. We don't even understand what the word inappropriate means.
He's saying inappropriate in the sense of you shouldn't be talking to a minor about that, but that doesn't make him a pedophile. The same way that I shouldn't go up to a minor and go, hey, you should smoke this horrible thing that will probably ruin your life. That's inappropriate, but it doesn't make me a pedophile. I should definitely go to jail, but not for pedophilia. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's so weird because this guy actually, I guess Papa's right. He doesn't know what inappropriate is. Like, he's using inappropriate
That's what's
in the
happening
wrong
here, just to be absolutely
context.
clear. Because like, oh, well, this is inappropriate. So then they're a groomer? What does the word inappropriate mean to you? What does it mean? Inappropriate can mean a lot of things. Inappropriate could be sexually inappropriate, or it could be other types of inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like fucking, yelling loud in a restaurant is inappropriate behavior.
Yelling fire. That's actually illegal.
Like you can't even like define basic terms. It's like we have the debate bro. Like you have to be debate broed. Oh, well, it was inappropriate. What does that mean to you? I don't even know. We don't even know the word. We don't even know anything. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what my point is.
So
hang on. Is your definition of pedophile someone who says inappropriate things in DMs with minors?
You realize inappropriate is referring to sexual, not.
No, it's not.
No, well,
it's you.
Yeah,
the
with a
problem is
pedophile,
that
but not
there's
with what
this
you're
constant,
saying.
Question of like, hey, what makes it like? There's nothing. So he makes a claim.
If I knew that he
fucking,
was just gonna watch
like,
this
boy,
video, I would have watched fucking Danky
Blood-
Jabos.
fucking
But
Cripseth. He makes this claim that there's something inappropriate going on sexually, and then Danky
oh
Jabos
my
like,
god,
well, this
this
isn't
title's
sexual.
such clickbait.
And then
I
he's
don't
like,
got time
okay,
to
but it's
switch it
inappropriate.
now.
And then he just keeps saying, well, it is sexual. He just keeps saying it is, even though there's
I'm gonna
nothing
watch
there.
it when I get home. That's
There's
what I'll do.
you haven't even, there's nothing sexual. We haven't seen a single sexual thing at all yet. What are we talking about? Like, we're just fucking saying things. What?
Not just not appropriate.
Yes, even weird sexual jokes made to minors doesn't make you a pedophile.
It wasn't a joke.
What joke? What joke are we talking about?
What do you mean? What,
Did you think?
she said?
Did you think
She
that
said.
ooze statements were jokes?
No,
Do you
no,
think
no.
the other statements were jokes?
I don't think the ooze statements were jokes. I think the ooze
The ooze statements were awkward.
statements was her being interested in what was being said.
I think that it was her being kind of awkward. But either way, doesn't mean that it's sexual.
Interested in the self-harm where there's an already established precedent that she sexualizes.
We haven't. Okay, if you say so.
She was interested in the self-harm, yeah. Didn't she immediately say after, like, stay safe, I've been through this before?
She said, "I hope you'll be okay," and then she sent an edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she send her fucking pussy? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, where's the sexual part? We don't have the sexual part. They seem to like romanticize self-harm. with that like cringe, like, oh, I wish I'd find a partner that would do that. It's inappropriate. Doesn't make it sexual. That's the whole claim.
Yeah.
But
So you-
again, they were talking at that point for, I think that was the second day they were speaking.
Oh my god, well, they're basically married.
Okay, well, you were calling her a pedophile from way before that evidence came out. So, what happened before that made you think it was appropriate to call her a pedophile?
Well, that's what it comes down to, right? It's like an anchor bias. The internet said that it's okay to call this person a pedophile. This is how the whole chain works. And then since nobody wants to like defend, some kind of a lolcow online, they just get away with saying whatever they want in their like little hug box, and then they just continue the behavior. And then somebody's like, "Wait, this isn't true," and they're like, "Well, everyone else believes me, so it's true. Like it has to be true. Like this is what I was told was appropriate to say. I'm basically just engaging with like talking. Like I'm just told this is okay. I'm allowed to say this stuff. Like, what do you mean it's not okay? Like this makes no sense to me. I've never gotten pushback in my entire life before on these topics. My mom and dad don't know what I'm doing online. They think I'm just a silly little guy. What do I do?
That's not the conversation at hand. It's whether she is or not, which...
That is a conversation at hand because it shows that you have an anchor bias into wanting to believe something and that you're already compromised.
I'm showing the current proof right now.
So you think that's the only evidence you have that they're a pedophile?
That's the only evidence. Yeah, all the screenshots.
If that's your only evidence, then why were you saying in the first place?
That's my reasoning behind it, yeah.
Okay, can we talk about the CSAM thing real quick? Because I thought the conversation was about fibs in general, not about two screenshots.
Oh, the CSAM thing? The CSAM, do you know what the CSAM allegation was about? Do you know what it was about, dude? It was that like her friend was liking like Naruto hentai or something.
Yeah.
And that was called CSAM.
It was about her being a pedophile, and those were being used as proof. But if you want to switch to a different topic,
Well, you made 3 videos on fibs, and you declared that she was a pedophile in your 4, and you declared she was a pedophile in your first one.
I use it in my thumbnail, yeah.
Okay, so did you not actually think she was a pedophile, or was it just a thumbnail thing? Was it just like clickbait?
Well, I wouldn't clickbait something like that. That'd be very, very inappropriate. But
So what you're saying is that multiple times you got it wrong on if she was or wasn't a pedophile. That's your argument.
Okay, so
No.
you
no, I
Shut
definitely
the
did
fuck
still
up.
think so with
No.
the inappropriate.
He's just still being a fucking idiot, but that's not. Oh my god, I gotta stretch. I'm so tired from. I gotta wake up. Bruh. So, this guy is going to do some crazy ass stretch. Damn, this armor's not even that fucking good. He's gonna do some stupid ass stretch involving with how, since the art is of children, it is CSAM, which is like, dude, anime characters could literally be fucking 17 and look like they're 30. Like, but also they do this lolly shit where it's like, oh, she's actually 3,000 and it's whatever. Like, they are just fucking weirdos. They're just weirdos. People who make mangas sometimes are fucking weirdos. That's all I gotta say. But it's not CSAM if a fucking kid finds another picture of an anime character who is also technically a kid, which I don't like saying that, 17, 18, it's like, you're teen. You know what I mean? Like 16, 17, 18, you're a teenager. 19. Anything with teens, 15, you're a fucking kid to me. But like, these teens, you're a teenager. I call you, like, you're in your fucking shitter phase. You're in your, I'm either going to college or I'm fucking shit up. And you liking a picture of another 17-year-old, or if you're 14 and you think a 17-year-old is hot, God forbid, they should die, I guess.
Appropriate comments she was making.
This
yeah.
is so terminally
was
online.
one of the
This
reasons
is
you thought she was a
so
pedophile
like,
because of the defense of the CSAM.
bro, God forbid you went to high school
No,
and
that
you
statement
thought
already was
an older woman
weird.
was attractive.
We were taking what she said and believing it. So she was.
Or if she was
What was she
19 and
She
thought a
said she
17-year-old
defended
was
someone with
hot.
CP,
God forbid.
not some-
She did
2
defend
years.
it with CP. She's defended people.
God forbid.
She said it was about fucking Naruto hentai. What are we talking about?
someone else. And I literally said in my video, I don't know if she meant it that way, and I hope she didn't. I said that in the video.
You said
But
you said it was very dangerous to keep Zane in the Discord server because Zane was a CSAM enjoyer.
she said that she kept someone in the server
Yeah.
who she said
What's
was supporting CP, and I was saying that is dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, Zane.
Yes, that's right.
But you didn't look into Zane. You didn't look into what Zane actually did.
I saw a few screenshots, nothing substantial.
Oh my
But, I mean, I did,
God.
Here, and she actually told me. I talked to her earlier.
not earlier, a few days ago. So she said initially that it was something about him consuming CP when he was a minor, and then she said that later she was enlightened of some things and ended up blocking him anyway. So
Okay, but
she's kind of bouncing around. Sorry, go ahead.
I asked if you looked into what Zane actually did in regards to the CP.
I mean, I tried. I didn't see much. If you want to inform me, I would greatly appreciate that.
I mean, it was in my video that the CP, the CSAM, was a 17-year-old anime character drawn in a lewd fashion. That was liked by Zane. That was liked by Zane at 13 years old.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the CP allegation, guys.
There it is.
Yeah, I did hear that. Was that in? Did Fib say that, or where was that? Just curious.
Sorry, where was that? I'm just curious. I'm really just taking the barking. I kind of just listened to whatever other people. I'm just regurgitating what other people have already said about these topics.
I'm just seeing what TikTok gets the most clicks, and I'm making a video on YouTube so I can cut it up into a TikTok and upload it on TikTok. I'm just trying to comprehend where I have to do more research, and I never will because I just see it on TikTok and do nothing else but watch TikToks. Because that's what it is. Like, people just do this.
Happening. I don't really have any I don't really have an understanding of any of this.
You can see in your first video when you make the initial claim, they're talking about Naruto, so you can sort of kind of gather it there. But then when you look at Zane's actual profile, and this was out at the time, I covered it in my first video about Fibs. It was just a 17-year-old image of an anime character, presumably a Naruto one, I guess.
Okay. Well, if that is the case, then
and those
so
those little Naruto artists, you're fucking feral. All right, you're feral. Seek the light, the sun, grass.
No, that's definitely
fucking insane.
To actual.
Wow. He never actually looked into the CSAM allegations. He just decided that like they were doing CSAM stuff. That was pretty much that's the TLDR here. Okay.
You guys are feral.
But
you say CSAM. What are you doing CSAM? Like, what is happening here? Speak.
She's telling me different. She said she did.
Well, if you say CSAM, it might flash some people in the face.
The dude
it might get stun locked and die. Apparently,
if that's true, what does it have? They still didn't defend CSAM.
She hasn't provided any proof.
Right, but you claimed that she was.
She hasn't provided proof. Wouldn't you be the one that I have to provide proof for your claim?
Defending pedophilia, defending someone who watched CP.
I said that she said she was defending someone who watched CP. Those were her words verbatim. She was defending someone who is involved with.
Those were her words. So we didn't need to verify the CSAM stuff.
CP. I don't know what it involved with or whatever, but those are her words, and I parroted that. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you didn't confirm the allegations. Okay.
Okay. Well, Pooh Boy said something along. Well, Pooh Boy did make the direct.
So you heard. You just okay. I guess that's fine. Yeah, you just didn't verify the allegation. Okay.
Accusation that she was defending someone or defending pedophilia. So would you be able to acknowledge that Pooh Boy falsely accused Fibs of defending pedophilia based on the knowledge that we have?
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have included that, given the current knowledge. Absolutely.
The current knowledge, that was like always the knowledge. You would
yep.
Like, you
Here
would
it
have
is.
to fact check these before you put it out there, unless you're fucking like a baby, right?
Right. It was a false accusation of pedophilia defense.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So look, I think we've hit a bit of a roadblock because it's a point where you believe that the evidence shown goes beyond just inappropriate messages or sexual messages of minors. You think it enters the realm of pedophilia, yeah?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So do you think that Fibs... Well, I guess... How would you define pedophile, then?
Attraction to minors. It's kind of layman's terms, but yeah.
That is layman's. I mean, if you want to get into like the real conversation, like pedophilia is it's usually considered a persistent attraction of somebody that is like prepubescent, like 13 and under, and the age gap, you have to be 16 and
15
older,
under, you're a child.
And there would have to be a 5-year gap, right? So you wouldn't be considered a pedophile technically at 19 and like 13, but that's like right on the bridge that you could be considered a pedophile. If there was sexual interaction there, right? But we haven't seen any sexual interaction, so we don't.
Oh my God, Papa!
Start there.
The mention of self-harm.
Her, as you also agree with, expressing interest in self-harm, which is already established that she.
I don't know if you guys know self-harm isn't like inherently sexual. I don't know if you guys know this.
Finds sexual, yeah.
What?
With showing that interest to a 14-year-old in DMs that night, yeah.
What interest did she show to a 14-year-old DMs? What?
Okay.
Weren't they when they were 19 or when they were 17? This is all like between like 19 and 17. This is like all over the place.
Let's say I find glasses sexual, for example. Like I'm really sexually attracted to glasses. If I show an interest in a minor's glasses, does that immediately mean, because I have a thing for glasses, that I'm being a pedophile? I know this might not be the best example, but I'm on the spot here.
No, that is...
We haven't even established that there was any sexual connection when it comes to the cutting stuff whatsoever. I don't know how you're supposed to dodge this fucking attack. It's actually so lame. We haven't even like established that. Like we have a situation where the only thing that we saw was that they said that they wanted somebody in a relationship to like cut my name into their arms because they thought that was romanticizing it, but they didn't tell them to do it. And the other person like, yeah, me too, because they were a bunch of like cringe emo, acting like that's like cool in some capacity to them.
They're just cringe. That's
not the same as them like sexualizing the situation and wanting somebody to do that to them. Like that's info dumping. It's inappropriate, but like that's not the same thing as what you're talking about. What?
Not even comparable. Those two things, glasses and self-harm. Glasses is something that some people need. It's a tool. And self-harm,
guys, me when I don't realize that a comparison like isn't literally the same thing. Holy fuck!
One of the most terrible things you could do to yourself. It's very, very, very damaging to oneself, to one's health, to one's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to engage with that because that's just really...
No, that's really convenient for you.
Insane logical fallacy to compare glasses to...
Actually, that's a logical fallacy.
What do I?
To self-harm, especially with...
The conversation is about, is it an inherently sexual conversation just because they like a thing and the other person might do the thing? That's it. That doesn't mean that you're attracted. It's like, I like, if you like it when your fucking wife farts, it doesn't mean that you're attracted when fucking kids like farting. Like that's...
What the fuck kind of example is that?
That's the comparison here. Like, oh, they have this because they have glasses doesn't mean that they sexualize those person's glasses. That's the point that he's trying to make here. I think that anybody knows that reasonably. Even if you think that it's like maybe it's not the best example, that's the point that's trying to be made here.
Regards to sexual attraction, to which fetishes exist for self-harm, and this person does have a fetish.
We don't know. We don't know that they have a fetish for self-harm. I don't know what you're talking. You keep saying this as if it's a fucking fact. What are you talking about?
And they did partake in that, as opposed to an accessory. You see how that's kind of a very...
I'm making a distinction. It's an example. Yeah. Maybe it's not the best example. If you give me some more time, I'm sure I could think of a better one. But do you understand where I'm coming? Do you understand where I'm coming from, at least?
I understand why you may be thinking a certain way, but I don't think that's applicable to something like self-harm at all.
Do you understand why I think you're being way too quick to call this person a pedophile?
Yeah, they have to double down because they've already called Fibs a pedophile. They have to double down or else they feel stupid. That's the whole point. That's basically what happened here.
And that if you call this pedophilia, it sort of detracts from the word pedophile to begin with?
I can see maybe the line of reasoning that could get you to come to that conclusion, but
this kid's trying. This kid has like his favorite fucking online debater, and he's trying to act like an holy fuck, dude.
I don't agree.
To me, she seems like a chronically online 19-year-old who acted like she was still 14, surrounded herself with teenagers, overshared sexual and self-harm content, and failed to understand the responsibility that comes with being an adult in the room.
And being a content creator, and also I don't think that Fibs tried to surround themselves with like young people. I think that those are the types of people who gravitated towards like her Discord because
she's cringe.
That's bad enough. You don't need to inflate it into pedophilia to make it condemnable.
I don't need to make it any more condemnable than it is. I'm just calling out as
You're trying to make it. You're sensationalizing it for views and attention because that's what you operate on. You're compromised.
I believe it is a display of pedophilia.
Well, it's not. You're like objectively wrong. So, okay.
And the new stuff just cemented it for me.
The new stuff could have been that she collects moldy oranges, and you would have cemented it for you because you're looking for it to cement it. Like you're not engaging in a way where you're actually trying to find the truth. Bro. You're just trying to double down on your bias.
She shouldn't be talking to minors at all.
Okay.
Because of this reason right here. But...
So you think she's deliberately... Do you think she's like grooming them? Do you think she's like attracted to this minor? Like wants to have sex with a minor?
Well, she was engaging in, for her specifically, interest in a sexual topic.
What topic is that?
First
The
2 days of
self-harm.
talking to one particular.
Oh, there's no proof of this. He's just going to continuously say that the self-harm is inherently sexual because he decided it needs to be, because he needs to double down on the pedophile accusations that have been constantly like lied about. That's pretty much what it is. Oh fuck.
Particular minor, which thankfully they cut it off early. I mean, if that's what she was doing on day 2, could you imagine if that went on?
The problem is he's going to continuously say that it was sexual in nature, even though he has no actual proof of that. And he's going to continuously like double down on the idea that it was sexual, like all the self-harm stuff was sexual. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be like, well, it is sexual, even though it's like, well, it's not. We haven't seen any proof that it's sexual, but it is sexual, so that means that they're pedophiles. They're just saying the same thing over and over again.
I mean, it's a consistent pattern, and the good thing to note is that she did this after the first time the set of videos that came out about her. So she heard all the criticism and did it again.
Who cares? Like, not for nothing, but like, you guys are completely fucking. You guys give a worthless criticism. If I heard criticism from you guys, I'd ignore the fuck out of it. That's what she did. She heard criticism from people who don't know what they're talking about, and she was like, this isn't true. She didn't have an educational lesson. Yeah, the lolcow networks that harass people, well, we harassed her, and then after we harassed her, she didn't take what we said as fact, even though we're just a harassment campaign against people. Oh, wow, okay, crazy. Like, what an irresponsible person. That's what you're saying to me right now. Why would she listen to you guys? You guys aren't worth anything. You're like, as you are a zero authority interaction here.
So you think she's attracted to minors?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for the record, her doing this again after being called out for it is something that I knew would happen. I know Gideon's in this call. It's something I said in the interview when he interviewed me. Was I said that, I'm not sure if you remember this, Gideon, when I said she should get offline because I can see something like this happening again. Because this is what happens when very mentally ill people who went through quarantine, who haven't had...
I wouldn't say that she's very mentally ill. I would say that she's somebody, like, she struggles with autism. Right, but she's not like very mentally ill. I don't think that she needs to be very mentally ill. I think that somebody without like an intellectual disability could suffer like with the same situation going on, just being very terminally online. I don't think she's very mentally ill.
Had much social development, who haven't had the chance to talk to people.
The rest of the stuff is definitely true.
Who are being bullied relentlessly,
That's
who have
definitely true.
very easy
Slender
access to
is
minors
so
online through this whole
annoying.
Discord server and TikTok or whatever, and a Discord where there are plenty of minors inside of it. It's like a community where she finally feels as though she can actually express herself without being bullied horrendously.
And then also like the things that she's into are immature. Like her
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
like she likes role playing. You know what I mean? Like that's an immature hobby that she has, and that's going to also be difficult for her to find adults who enjoy that same hobby. That's like one of the issues as well.
And so she got way too comfortable, and I think if you want to say there was like unintentional predatory behavior in there, that's not something that I would necessarily argue with.
I would like, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, there's
like,
some weird shit
the
going
behavior
on.
could be interpreted as predatory, but you can't unintentionally have the predatory behavior. It would be like they engage in a behavior that could be seen as predatory. Yeah, for sure. I could see that. Absolutely. I can understand that like some people might be like, oh, I think this behavior could be used as a grooming tactic to harm, XYZ. 1000%. Absolutely. And I understand that. You could say that if you want, but we haven't seen anything outside of like the behavior. We haven't seen it being used to try to like groom a kid or like actually develop a sexual relationship with anybody. That's completely unsubstantiated. It's not substantiated at all.
I think predator is a very different claim from pedophile, but the word
He's
predator is so
resisted a
broad that
grenade.
I'm not really a big fan
I
of it.
would kind of say that they're like a pedophile is a form of a predator, but
What are they preying on?
they're not a predator or a pedophile. So
Pardon?
If they're a predator, what are they preying on?
Well, I don't think they are a predator.
But you said you wouldn't find it unreasonable to call them an unintentional predator. So
I think that was unintentional predatory behavior. Yeah.
You said unintentional predator.
Yeah, because there seemed to be some sort of comfort in this community of self-harm, which is really, really grim. But it's not
So-
pedophilia.
maybe I don't know how intense the self-harm, again, from what because we have like one, the problem is like there's like one example of everything.
Literally.
Like our examples of these things are like
We
there's
can't
one
tell
thing.
fully
Oh, it's
anything
one- like,
unless
so
we
it's hard
see
to say.
more.
It seemed like they were talking, like they were fucking emo posting about how, oh, I'm cool and mysterious. I like to cut myself. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to be this like huge thing where it's like a consistent pattern. It seems to be like edgy posting like gone wrong. And then when somebody expresses like, oh, when they're like, oh, I do this to myself, and Fibs is like, oh, because they're uncomfortable and awkward. That's how I interpret it. That's the way that she says it is. I kind of believe her considering the context of the situation. But
If she's an unintentional predator and she's preying on minors,
I think that was
what do you call
unintentional. That was unintentional predation. Well, predator. You can but the thing is, mate, something being too expensive is predatory. But the definition of predatory extends so far.
Maybe. I don't think that people are considering that. I think that, again, I think that what you meant to say, thank you, is that it's behavior that can be seen as predatory, but without the intention in it. And I think that that's a better way to define it, because there's no, I don't see any intentionality, predatory intentionality, but some of these characteristics could be things that a predator uses to harm somebody. I think that's a better way of like saying it.
If you overprice something, that's predatory behavior. So if I sold a Snickers bar for triple the price I bought it for to a minor, that is me preying upon a minor. It doesn't automatically mean pedophilia.
And when the topic is in regards to self-harm, which the person finds sexual,
Again, there's nothing that says that the person finds it sexual, so you just keep making this. You keep saying these things that you don't understand.
Just because she... First of all, I don't think that there's any evidence that... I don't think that there's sufficient evidence that she finds self-harm sexual in all scenarios, no matter what, especially in regards to minor.
I don't think there's a single scenario where she finds it sexual. Again, the only thing was like, oh, I wish I could find like a boyfriend that would cut themselves for me. Like it's... I don't see that as an like, inherently sexual claim there. I think they're romanticizing it. I don't even know if I believe that they actually do that.
Like if she finds self-harm sexual, I think it's a lot more reasonable to assume, well, because self-harm isn't sexual. What is? Can you? All right, hang on. What exactly is your evidence that she sees self-harm as sexual in all cases?
I did not say verbatim all cases, because as you said, it's a very wide definition, self-harm.
Okay.
I mean, stubbing your toe on purpose is one, but the way she puts it,
Oh, I gotta
in
go
the
to work
screenshots,
soon.
carving, cutting,
I just lost my guy.
that was very much established. Very much established.
Spleen
Where was it
chewing
established that she
too.
got some sort of sexual thrill from this?
Sorry?
Where was it
You
established
implying that it wasn't sexual?
I'm asking
Well, you have to substantiate your claim.
you the
What
evidence.
other-
I'm asking the evidence.
Yeah, the quote, I want someone to carve their name into me.
Mhm.
Is that not sexual?
No. No, it's not sexual. It's not. I guess this is what happens when you don't have sex and you don't like know what terms mean. That is not an inherently sexual thing. It's inappropriate, but it doesn't make it sexual. Like wanting somebody to love you so much that they'll carve their name into your arm isn't sexual. It's romanticized and it's inappropriate and it's stupid.
It's
But it's not
cringe, yeah.
sexual. That's the claim. Sexual. It's not a sexual thing inherently. It might be, but there's nothing else to support that. So you've decided it's sexual. But